Manpower has identified many safe operating procedures and rules to help you work safe. Even with these rules, it is important that you take the opportunity to understand the client's procedures and rules which may be specific to their worksite. Manpower's Code of Safe Practices are general in nature and cover many types of business activities. Your Health and Safety Guide will outline a complete list of safe practices and general safety rules, and you should take the time to read them completely, but let me highlight some critical ones for you here. Ensure you follow job site safety rules and report all unsafe conditions or practices to your job site supervisor and a Manpower representative. Manpower will insist that you observe and obey all rules, regulations, and directives required to achieve a safe work environment. If policies are not followed, it will result in the appropriate disciplinary action. No associate will knowingly be permitted or required to work while their ability or alertness is impaired by illness or other causes that might unnecessarily expose that individual or others to injury. Horseplay, practical jokes, scuffling, and other acts that tend to endanger the safety or well-being of a coworker is prohibited. Work will be supervised to prevent injuries when working with equipment and when handling heavy materials. You should not handle or tamper with any electrical equipment, air or water lines, or machinery in a manner that is not within the scope of your assigned duties, unless you have received authorization and instructions from the worksite supervisor and Manpower. To reduce the risk of accidents in the workplace, the following industrial safety rules have been established as minimal guidelines. It is your responsibility to be aware and apply safe work habits while on assignment. Always wear a hard hat in designated hard hat areas. Safety glasses or goggles, safety gloves, back support belt, and other protective equipment where advised or mandatory. The client may provide some of these items. If not, contact your Manpower representative for instructions. Other safe work attire may include shoes. Always wear CSA-approved safety shoes that are required for the specific assignment. Clothes. Do not wear ill-fitting or baggy clothes around moving machinery. Hair. Long hair must be kept back behind the neck and shoulders to prevent possible entanglement with machinery. Remove all body rings before working around moving machinery or electrical equipment and while handling heavy objects. Do not operate any equipment which, in your opinion, is not in a safe condition. Inform your job site supervisor immediately. Do not operate any machinery or equipment without authorization. Practice good housekeeping by keeping your work area as clean and uncluttered as you can. Focus on your work, but be alert to what is going on around you. Obey all worksite safety rules, governmental regulations, signs, markings, and instructions. Be particularly familiar with those that apply directly to you. If you don't know, ask. Avoid unnecessary talking, shouting, or other loud noises that may distract or startle other associates from their work. Always use the right tools and equipment for the job. Use them safely and only when authorized. Be constantly alert for moving equipment and loads. Always stand clear of the operating machinery and equipment. Do not run in the client's building or cross the client's outside property. And report any spills to your job site supervisor immediately. There are also safety rules for work performed in an office work environment. Let's review those. Know your job and follow the client's safety rules, procedures, and instructions. If you do not know the safe way to do the job, ask your job site supervisor. Adjust your workstation, such as your chair and keyboard, to your personal needs. If office equipment is not working properly, turn the equipment off and report the malfunction to your job site supervisor immediately. Worn electrical wiring, overloaded outlets, or defective equipment should not be used and should be reported to your job site supervisor. Do not stand on chairs, tables, boxes, or desks in order to reach articles. Keep desk and file cabinet drawers closed when not in active use to avoid tripping or striking. Be careful to avoid injuring hands when using duplicating, copy, and addressing machines or paper cutters. If you are required to carry printed or other materials, the weight should be limited to about 25 pounds or less. Ask for assistance if you feel the weight is too heavy for you. If you are required to enter a production area, be constantly alert for moving machinery and equipment. Always stand clear of operating equipment of any kind. In designated areas, wear personal protective equipment when required. From time to time, the use of various power tools may be required as part of your work responsibilities. Before working with power tools on assignment, ensure that it was part of your original job description as described by your Manpower representative. If you are required to use power tools on the job, review the detailed safety rules for the use of power tools in your health and safety guide. A safe practice that applies to everyone, irrespective of the work environment, is proper manual material handling, or safe lifting. There is a widely recognized right way to lift. Without the proper technique, a seemingly simple lift may result in an injury such as a pulled muscle, hernia, or other painful back problems. To help you in lifting correctly and safely, always follow these 7 basic steps. Spread your feet. Place one foot alongside the object to be lifted and the other behind it. Spreading your feet gives you greater stability. Now your rear foot is in position for the upward push needed for the lift. Keep your back straight. Bend at the hips and knees, squat in a sit-down position, keeping your back as straight as possible. Straight means your spine, back muscles, and body are in proper alignment for lifting safely. Hold your shoulders back and your stomach in to keep your spine in line and firm. This will help relieve pressure on your lower back. Be sure you can lift it. Size up the load. Extend your fingers and hands around the object to be lifted. Use your full palm. Your fingers have very little power on their own, so use the strength of your entire hand for the lift. Tip the load on its side and test its weight and determine if you can carry it comfortably. Get help if the load is too big, too heavy, or too bulky for you to handle alone. Never attempt any lift unless you are absolutely sure you can safely handle it. Tuck in your arms and elbows. Draw the load in close and tuck your arms and elbows close to the side of your body. Your arms lose much of their strength by holding them away from your body. Center your body weight. Position your body so that your weight is centered between your feet. This will ensure better balance and a stable lift. Begin your lift with a push-off from your rear foot. Turn your forward foot out. Point your forward foot in the direction you plan to go. Turn your whole body to avoid twisting during the lift. It is one of the most common causes of back stress. Now, make the lift by using your strong leg muscles to stand up. When putting the load down, keep your back straight. Avoid twisting your body. Squat down, bending at the knees, and set the load down and carefully release it. Here are some other things to remember when lifting. Use hand protection such as gloves if necessary. Wear safety shoes to protect your feet. Check the load for rough strapping, sharp edges, splinters, and exposed nails. Move your feet and to turn your whole body. Do not twist your upper body at the waist, and always ask for help if the load weight is beyond your capabilities. Following these safe lifting procedures is an important part of all of our jobs. You may be assigned to work in a facility where machines or equipment may be required to be locked or tagged out from time to time. What do those terms really mean? Lockout means to put a padlock on the energy source of equipment or machinery to prevent its unintentional startup during setup, adjusting, cleaning, repairing, etc. Tagout means to put special tags on machines or equipment energy sources to warn other workers that such machines must not be restarted until the tags have been removed by an authorized individual. You must not participate in lockout-tagout procedures unless the client has provided you with complete on-site lockout-tagout training. If you have successfully completed such training, you must also call your Manpower representative for authorization to participate in these procedures. Energy sources that must be locked out are those that supply the power to enable machines or equipment to operate. These power sources include electricity, gas, steam, coiled springs, hydraulic or pneumatic, and gravity. Often several padlocks or tags are used to lock out a single piece of equipment or machinery. Each one could be placed by a different authorized individual who has only one key or whose name is on the tag. It becomes virtually impossible for an unexpected startup to occur, since all the locks and tapes must be individually removed by only the person who placed them there in the first place. Lockout and tagout procedures are designed to be specific to individual machines or equipment. The exact lockout-tagout procedure may therefore vary somewhat from machine to machine and from client to client. Our clients' lockout-tagout procedures have been put in place at the work site for your protection and the safety of your fellow workers during the maintenance, repairing, and servicing of equipment and machines. If you have any questions at all about your understanding of the lockout-tagout rules, ask your Manpower representative for assistance. You may be assigned to a client work site who, at times, do perform work which may require hot work procedures. In these circumstances, you should ensure that you review this section of your health and safety guide carefully and familiarize yourself with the client's hot work procedures. Many work sites require the use of personal protective equipment, or PPE. When you are required to wear PPE, we will confirm what protective equipment you will be required to wear and when it must be worn. We will also let you know if the PPE will be provided by Manpower, the client, or if you must provide it yourself. If you are required to use PPE, Manpower will provide you with a copy of our PPE information sheet, which gives you the information that you need on the proper use, maintenance, and care of the PPE. You may be required to use while on assignment. If a copy of the PPE information sheet was not provided to you and you are likely to wear PPE while on assignment, ask your Manpower representative for a copy. Many of our clients have machines and/or equipment which may require pre-use inspections to be performed. If you are asked to perform any pre-use inspections, notify your Manpower representative immediately for direction. As you have seen, Manpower has established many policies and safe operating procedures to prevent accidents from happening. Unfortunately, accidents can happen anywhere and anytime. When an accident does happen, you have the responsibility of reporting it immediately to your client supervisor and a Manpower representative. We all have the responsibility to immediately report any accident, illness, or incident which occurs at the workplace, whether at a Manpower work location or at our client work site. Let me explain the difference between an accident, illness, and incident for you so that you know what you should report. An accident is defined as bodily harm resulting from working, also known as an injury. An illness is defined as a deviation from the normal, healthy state of the body. And an incident is defined as an event that results in injury to people and/or damage to the environment, equipment, property, and/or materials. This includes all fatalities, critical injuries, lost time injuries, no lost time injuries, occupational illness, property damage, environmental release, and fire or explosion. You must immediately report an accident, illness, or incident to your client site supervisor verbally, as well as contact your Manpower representative. If it is impossible for you to report the situation for any reason, you should report the situation in an acceptable time frame, and where possible, witnesses should assist in reporting. This is to ensure that you do not incur further harm. For example, a minor cut, if left unreported, may later become infected if not properly treated. Reporting your injury also helps ensure that any unsafe condition in the workplace is corrected. A near miss should also be reported. It could be an indication of a condition that could cause a serious injury to the next person who performs that task. Once you have reported an accident, illness, or incident, the following steps will take place. You will be provided with the necessary first aid treatment. Let your supervisor or Manpower representative know if you need assistance getting to professional help. Depending on the type and nature of the injury that you sustain, your on-the-job supervisor or Manpower representative may either suggest first aid treatment at the job site or refer or suggest a medical facility for treatment. This would include providing immediate transportation to a hospital, doctor's office, or other medical facility if necessary when an injury occurs. Following the report of an accident, illness, or incident, Manpower will undertake an investigation. Investigations will take place as soon as possible after an accident, illness, or incident has been reported, and generally within 24 to 48 hours after being reported.